Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. I hope you all are fine with the grace of Allah. I welcome you all in Pakistan School Muscat e-learning. I'm your science teacher, Ms. Natasha Khan. And today we are doing unit number 6, water. Let's have a look on the objectives. To describe how water exists in this world and to identify different sources of water. My dear students, now I will tell you about water. That water is one of the greatest blessings of Allah. It is very much important for living. All living things need water, otherwise they will die. And water is found in all three states of matter, that is solid, liquid and gas. Solid water is ice, liquid water is water, and the gaseous form of water is water vapor or steam. Now let's have a look on the boiling and freezing point of water. There are two scales in front of your eyes. One is Celsius and the other one is Fahrenheit. On Celsius scale, water freezes at 0 degrees centigrade and water boils at 100 degrees centigrade. And on Fahrenheit scale, at 32 degree Fahrenheit water freezes and 212 degree Fahrenheit water boils. And we can change the state of water. Water can be changed from one form to another by heating or by cooling. Now, this is the picture of water cycle. The air contains a lot of water. When the sun shines on the sea, a lot of water changes into water vapor and rises into the air. When this water vapor is cooled by the air, it turns back into tiny drops of water which float in the air. My dear students, now I will explain you about water cycle. What is water cycle? The water cycle shows the continuous movement of water within the earth and the atmosphere. Now let's have a look on the different steps of water cycle. The first is of evaporation. When the sun shines on the sea, a lot of water changes into water vapor, and that is called evaporation. The changing of water into gas is called evaporation. And when this water vapor is cooled by the air, it turns back into tiny drops of water, that is called condensation. So the changing of water vapor into water droplets is called condensation. And the last step is of precipitation. The water falls from the sky in the form of rain, snow or hail. This is called precipitation. Students, now we are moving towards a very interesting experiment in which we will change water vapors into water droplets, and you will see rain in the jar. All you need: heat-proof jar, ice cubes, empty can, a metal lid and some hot water. First of all, you will pour about half cup of very hot water into a large empty heat-proof jar, and then you will cover the jar with a metal lid. Place an empty can filled with ice cubes on the top of the lid, and then you will see it is raining in the jar. Now I will tell you about the formation of clouds, that how do clouds form. Clouds form with the help of water vapors, dust particles and different air gases. High in the sky it is very cold, and water vapor that rises high above the land cools down to form clouds. As we know, the air contains a lot of water. That's why we feel moisture in the air. But there are different types of moisture in the air. Number one is mist and fog. Do you know what is fog? I'm sure you must have experienced that fog usually in the winter season when the clouds may form near the ground, and this is called fog. You know, in the cold region, sometime it hails and sometime it snow instead of rain. And do you know how? So let's read about it. When it is cold or very cold, the tiny drops of water in the clouds can freeze. They form ice. Each little piece of ice is called a crystal, and the ice crystals grow bigger and fall to the ground as snowflakes. As you can see in this picture, this is the closer view of a crystal. What is groundwater? Groundwater is found under the land surface and even it is below the surface of water. And it is the pure kind of water. Basically, the rainwater gathers in the spaces between the rocks, and this water is called groundwater. Spring. A spring is a place where groundwater flows out of a hole or a crack in the ground. You must be familiar with this picture. This is a picture of a well. Sometimes we dig deep holes in the ground to reach groundwater. These deep holes are called wells. And in the ancient time, people used to build wells to reach to the fresh water, and that is groundwater. Now, let's have a look on the uses of water. That how do we use water? We use water in many ways. We use it for drinking. We use water for drinking, for watering plants, for firefighting, for boating and sailing, for bathing and washing. Now let's have a look on a quick recap. We have learnt in this topic that all living things need water to live, and it is found in three states that are solid, liquid and gas. Water vapor rises high above the land and cools down to form clouds. There are different types of moisture in the air, and mist and fog is one of them. The rainwater gathered in the space between the rocks, and this water is called groundwater. A spring is a place where groundwater flows out of a hole or crack in the ground. Sometimes we dig deep holes in the ground to reach groundwater. These deep holes are called wells. And we use water in so many ways. We use it for washing, bathing, cooking, drinking, etc. Thank you so very much, students, for watching this video. I will see you again with some new topic. Till that time, take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.